Got to make sure I've got my Wi-Fi. Yep, everything's on. All right. Welcome to a foggy, a lot of moisture in the air. No wonder the grass is still growing like crazy. But welcome to the mop and know your value. This weekend has brought me a lot of songs in my head, such as you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them and just know when to walk away. And the choice to walk away has been clear. It is time to pack up and walk away from certain individuals. Not my wife, okay? Don't worry about that one. But it's just time. It's time to not worry about what's next or what's going to be the next thing to happen with certain individuals. It's time to walk. Being the scapegoat or being the blame for being somebody's misery, not worth the energy. Not worth the energy to fight it, to try it. What bothers me is people that say they're going to do things and then they don't do it. So then you are the odd man out, and it leaves you looking like you're somebody else, or they also can't really not help but to say how they feel. Instead, they bring it up to make you the one that looks bad. So I'm done. Energy is done. Energy is going to be saved for bigger projects, for bigger things to do. I've got too much in my life. I've got a short time here on this world left. I'm 52. Could be a year, could be 40 years. Who knows? But overall, it's a short time. I mean, it doesn't seem that long ago that my mom picked me up at a golf course when I was golfing for the championships and playing and said, hey, we're moving to Minnesota. It doesn't seem that long ago that we moved to Minnesota and I started the 4th grade at a different school. In a town that was not overly acceptant to those that moved in to the area. Still seems that way in all these areas, that depending on your name, depending on your last name, depending on what you do, if you're just an ordinary kid, and you're on the poor side of things, it doesn't seem people really welcomed you to the area. And then especially when you move to a place called Sin City, which was the townhomes outside of Aiken. And Sin City was where affordable housing was. It was a bunch of like duplex, not even, it was all just I don't know what you call it. It was called the townhomes, but they were, I don't know, a whole bunch of them in a row, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever it may be. We were in a 2-bedroom. Thin walls, but also developed a lot of good friendships there. But we all had one thing in common. We were not on the financial stability list. We were on the let's hope we can get by and we'll go from there list. That's where I guess I learned my fight for survival the most. Started working at the grocery. Well, I worked at Rutgers for a summer when I was 14. I met a great friend, Greg Rushmeyer, and he's a great friend to this day and knows what things that we were going on. But I started at 14 doing that, sweeping cobwebs and everything off of cabins. And then at 15, I broke through the big time. I became a stocker bag boy at Paul Beck's Super Value in Aiken. And you were never really truly welcomed into the area. And yep, I was a nerdy little bastard. I'm not little. I was chubby and fat and always have been. But I wasn't used to having to be chosen for a little league draft. I've been playing baseball when I was 5 and 6. Got up there and then didn't get drafted that year. got drafted the following year. Yes, that's right. Small town, 1,500 people. I came from a town that had swimming pool, had a golf course, ball diamond, all of that, to northern Minnesota where they didn't have swimming pools because they said, well, we have lakes. What do we need pools for the public? Well, in Minnesota, to swim in a lake, yeah, you had a limited time. And then for training and, for swim lessons and things like that, you took them at lakes. Yeah, dark, murky, weedy water, whatever. But I met some great people through those times that were all in the same position as us. So I am now to the point of where if I have to walk on eggshells or worry about who's going to block me or delete me from Facebook or whatever it may be, I'm done. I'm done with wasting my energy. And I don't care who, family, friend, whatever it may be. I'm done. I don't need it. I don't need it in my life. I don't need it messing with my life. Just a lot of big changes coming my way that I have finally, after listening to some videos and doing some self-studies and things like that, it's time. It's time for me to focus on what's important. And that's my wife, our life, the 2 dogs, and just moving forward. So, if you want to be in my life or want to be around me, you're more than welcome. But to be blamed for not calling, whatever it may be, or who cares, stop. I've got a lot of changes to make. And maturing, growing up, whatever it may be, I've told people here that on this channel, I have decided to quit drinking. I think it is a good decision on my part, due to the fact that I don't have a shutoff. Not that I have to drink every day. I don't need to. I think it's a bad decision. I just don't have to. I could, if I'm with my wife, it's never a problem. I can have one there with dinner, whatever it may be, but it was always when I'm with friends or going, there was none. So I'm going to quit that because I also tend to be way more honest. And people really don't like honesty. People don't want to stand up and be who they are. They need to bend and quirk and around, depending, and I'm not that guy. I am who I am. If you don't like it, that's okay. Some people don't like me. That's okay too. I don't like some people, and that's okay. So it's just time. It's time that I'm 52 and move forward and look for what's best for my wife and I, and look for what I can do better as a human being. And where we end up, and we strive to still be the best we can. So, with that said, are you willing to do the same thing for your own mental health, for your own well-being? At some point, you can only be verbally talked to, treated differently. I guess the whole Facebook thing makes me laugh when you can delete a friend or whatever and then block them. And yeah, boy, I don't know. It's hilarious because you just go, oh, wow, that's awesome. And when you're told that you need to grow up or whatever and mature, and then people do that, it makes me laugh too. We got talking about this before, I have with a few people, is back when we were in high school, you had 2 options. You could write a note, fold it all up cute or whatever, and hand it to some girl you thought was cute, and then she'd hand it to all her friends, and then they'd laugh and giggle and whatever, and then pass it around to everybody. Now you have the cell phone that all you do is cut and paste or forward it on to your friends that are on that. But when you are upset with somebody, you didn't have the option to unfriend them or block them. You didn't talk to them, or you confronted them, and then there was usually some kind of fight after lunch or meet you out in the parking lot or whatever it was. I think sometimes we need to get back to those days of where you talk nose to nose. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people won't, because they'd much rather be a keyboard warrior and tell people about what's going on. And oh my, what fun it is. So, you know who you are, and if you want to be that person that is out and about and, oh God, no, not that, I got blocked, people still think the same, you just walk away. I'm so over how people think of themselves, or how much of they think of themselves, that I'm done. Especially if I've done things that I tried to make right in lives and things like that. It's all good. Life will be better. Life will be less dramatic, less up and downs emotions, especially for me. I just can't handle it. I can't handle emotionally anymore a lot of stuff that's going on. Yeah. I've got a very small select friendship base. Part of it is because of who I am. I don't like a lot of people. And I'm starting to realize that if you treat me good, I'll treat you good. But if you don't want to treat me good, I can walk away. Just that simple. And it needs to happen. It's one of the toughest decisions you'll ever make in your life. Whether it's family or friends, and a lot of times family. Once the major glue of that family is gone, yeah, it starts to crumble and fall away, and you know who really put that family together. But overall, it's just not worth it. I'm good. I'm going to do some more work around the house, and we've got a few cool events coming up, my wife and I. So September 2nd, I have the end of summer Alzheimer's party at the bowling alley. October, we're going to go for a UTV trip with some really cool people and good friends of ours in Michigan. And then November, I have my mom's big event at the bowling alley. So I've got enough going on in my life to keep my mind focused on what I want to do and where I'm headed. And I belong to the Alzheimer's committee out of Milwaukee. There's 4 of us that belong to that. Milwaukee, Green Bay, Madison, and where I'm at in Richland Center. And we're trying to get more people involved for that. And we're starting to see that disease become more and more of a problem. Whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's, however you want to look at it, they're all under the same umbrella. But however you want to look at it. So I am where I am. If you don't like me, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. A lot of people don't like when you speak the truth, because we don't see a lot of it anymore these days. We don't see people being downright honest. We don't see the respect for our elderly, for our vets, for those we don't see it anymore. We don't pay attention sometime at when you're going into a grocery store or whatever, who holds doors, who does that, who puts carts away, who does all of those kind of things that we were taught to do when we were little. Holding doors has always been one of those things for me. I always have, always will. Saying thank you to vets when you see them, thanking police officers. We don't have a lot of that respect anymore either. And some of it is because the officers, I think, have forgotten who they work for or they're tired. I would have to believe tired part of it is a major thing, because you can arrest a drug person on Friday or somebody on alcohol charges on Thursday or Friday, and they're back out on the street, and you just arrest them again. That's why we're seeing people here with OWIs in the 5-6 range category. And to me, that's crazy. So just thank you to my good friends that reached out this weekend to check on me. I wasn't in a good place on Friday and Saturday. As things got better and we're doing good, I've been able to talk through some of what's going on in my head. And my good friend Mark, he's the best friend I got. And I shouldn't say best friend I got. Locally, I've got a couple too. But Mark's always been there. Him and I went through a lot of similar things. Divorces, and recently both of our mothers have passed, and brings a lot of similarities and feelings. And we've been divorced. Him and I both have gone through divorces as well, and we're raising kids. And the one big thing is that I'm really impressed with, Mark has become very successful, and he's passing those blessings on to others. And that's what I'm trying to do with my mom's event and a few other things. But I thank you for all tuning into this. But save your energy, and walk away from those that drain it or do not want you to succeed. That's my next training module that I'm working on, is how your life changes when you're successful. Because someday I will be very successful. And it depends on your terminology. I'm not talking about rich, wealthy, all that. I'm talking about when I finally figure this stuff out, then I will be successful. And then maybe, who knows, something else will happen. But right now, I just want to be successful in handling my life and the things that are going on in my life appropriately and the right way. And that is, like I said, for those of you that, if you're around people that you have to walk on eggshells around, or that you have to be careful what you say because of what they may pull away from you or what they take away from you, walk away from them. It's not worth it. Because at some point, no matter how delicate you walk or how little you try to say, you are going to say the wrong thing and it's going to bite you in the ass. So just walk away. That's the last thing I learned, and it's a good thing to learn. So have a great day. Hopefully the sun comes out. It's supposed to. But the fog is thick here in southwest Wisconsin. So, and as always, take time to bless somebody. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning into the MOP, and we'll talk later.